Hello, Virgo. It's your turn for your reading for the month of September. I can't believe it's already getting close to September, but this is for your reading for the month of September. I already laid out the cards out here just to make it easier. To pre-shuffle the cards and everything just to get your reading out here. Alright, first card that came up is the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. Knight of Swords in reverse. Eight of Wands in reverse. Four of Swords in reverse. Nine of Pentacles in reverse. Five of Wands in reverse. The Death card in reverse. King of Pentacles in reverse. Four of Wands in reverse. Ace of Cups in reverse. And Three of Swords in reverse. Bottom of the deck is the Star card in reverse. So it looks like a lot of cards are reversed. So I feel like you're in a transition period for the month of September. Especially with the Wheel of Fortune here. I feel like things are changing possibly for the better or worse, however that resonates. I feel like it's more about positivity. This is your season of the month of September, your birthday, so happy birthday whenever that may be. But I feel like you're in a transition period this month when it comes to clear communication, when it comes to maybe taking on this energy of the Knight of Swords when it comes to, speaking your truth, speaking into things in existence of what you want, what you're trying to manifest when it comes to changes in your life. Because I feel like a lot of you want change in your life. You want new changes. So I feel like whether it's love or relationship, you're working towards, something new and having new communication coming in. Four of Swords, I feel like, a lot of you could be, recovering from something when it comes to, things that you really want to take on in this, lifetime. Take on, in your life. And I feel like you've had a lot of downtime to, reconsider things in your life, in your energetic field, especially when it comes to your energy. Nine of Pentacles, you could have lost some money in the process of the things that you have been wanting to endeavor. And I feel like, people could have caused a lot of conflicts when it comes to your pentacles, when it comes to, everything from your value system, how you see your self-worth. And I feel like you're done with that period. You're done with the fighting. You're done with the war. You're done with the conflicts, maybe internal conflicts. And I feel like you had to take a lot of downtime to reevaluate things that you're trying to manifest in this, 3D reality world. Death card, I feel like, has to do with transformation. You could be dealing with the Scorpio, possibly. A death of something. So maybe some of you have been dealing with this type of energy or this transformation when it comes to, seeing your value in a situation, seeing your worth in a situation. So I feel like, just as, you are the Hermit card, Virgo, and I feel like a lot of you took a lot of downtime to, really assess, what it is you're trying to manifest in this reality. You want new, whether it's new communication, whether it's someone coming towards you. And I feel like, too, also with the Knight of Swords, it's easy to get in our head. It's easy to want to rush in and save everybody, or save the world, or save, yourself, or whatever that may look like. But I feel like, you want things to come to you. And I feel like eventually they're coming to you this month in some form or dynamic. So I feel like things are changing for you. Alright, so we have the King of Pentacles. So I feel like this is your energy. You are becoming the King of Pentacles. I feel like when it comes to this shift and traumatic changes in your life that you're trying to reassess and trying to recover, maybe recover loss of something when it comes to, people and situations and conflicts. I feel like you're becoming more stable, more aware of, your value, where your energy is going to, especially in a relationship with the Four of Wands right here. You're seeing your investment in a relationship or you're not seeing it. So I feel like, you're getting out of this period of time. I feel like it's of September where, you know, a lot of this is past energy. I feel like, maybe in the past you see your value in something, but, it ended in this conflict with people. And I feel like for a long time, a lot of you, you've been in this conflict with other people and you feel like you're done with that. You're done investing in time and energy in something that's going to only bring pain, that, gets up in your head about, how you're supposed to communicate out. Maybe that's also too, a lot of you may be feeling for the last decades of some, when it deals with other people, conflicts with other people, I feel like you're starting to become more aware, more heightened, and intuition is kicking in when it comes to, who are you investing in time, energy, and I feel like, a lot of you, have been investing in the wrong things, and I feel like you're doing the best you can to recover from, it could have been someone that passed away, it could have been someone that, brought conflict, but I feel like with this death part of it, this Five Wands, something is ending here. Something is closing out. A cycle has ended, it's changed. And I feel like for a lot of you, you weren't very happy with the results you were getting in. So that's why some of you, maybe was stopping your growth from experiencing, relationships that you really wanted to, because maybe you settled for something less than your best, or maybe, some way, you guys are very caring people, so you try to find people that you can invest into, share your life with. But for some of you, you've got in these, toxic situations or conflicts with other people that maybe took more from you. And I feel like some of you are still having to recover from that. Whether it was an ending of some kind, whether it was a past death of some kind, it could be a million things. Something that ended and there's still lingering, pain from it all, trying to recover, when dealing with people that maybe you lost yourself. Maybe you don't had a voice in this situation, knowing that could really sympathize. And I feel like through it all, whether it is a relationship you had to put an end to, or an ending of some kind with a relationship, you're bringing in this newness, this awareness, trying to move from, one situation to another to bring in, stability within yourself. And I think some of you, not all of you, this is generating, some of you had to get in this, maybe uncomfortable situation when it comes to deal with relationships because you wanted something new. And I feel like for some of you, for years on end, you couldn't make up your mind on something until, it became maybe your detriment. Maybe that's why the 10th card is here. You've invested so much on something. It could be work too for some of you, It's very important when it comes to what I've observed about a Virgo is when they're investing in something that's gonna substantially bring them something, that could stabilize their situation out for the betterment. And, you're very goal oriented people. So I feel like you'd never wanted to hurt anybody in the process. Maybe some of you felt like, you hurt someone in the process of all this change. But I feel like it was a need, it was a must. So I feel like you are recovering. You're learning to move on from a past situation with conflicts with people so you can fully, accept new love and move on from it finally and learn to, I don't know why the word big to differ comes to my mind. You've had to go through these transformation periods with people, conflicts, stability within yourself, so you can fully accept it for what it is, and so you can fully move on. But I feel like for some of you, not all, it's been a really hard journey for the past few years when it comes to conflicts with other people, when it comes to, your own stability within a relationship, possibly. You also could be dealing with Aquarius, because it's star card right here. So I feel like, it's been a wish of yours to, wish upon something that is ultimately going to bring you happiness. And I feel like in the month of September, you're closing out this end of this cycle and, you're starting into something new. Maybe something within the new moon of Virgo recently, you had to go through this period of isolation in some way so you can clear up the past, so you can clear up the things that aren't working for you. And I feel like a lot of you move forward. But some of you are probably still stuck in this situation when it comes to confusion about the past, when it comes to, the things that didn't work out. You know, did you speak clear enough? And I feel like maybe that's the question here with this change coming in. You want to quickly come in and save the day or quickly come in and speak about something that has to do with changes coming up for you and maybe someone else or something of that nature. But I feel like you're moving on. You're moving on from something that maybe you you went through a lot. Um, I don't know. I'm just so pointed to these two cards and words. Something within yourself telling you, I got to slow things down. I got to not assume things with other people, but I really got to take inventory for my life and my stability. And, it's not so much about stability within a relationship as it is yourself. So I feel like you've learned that already. You've had to go through these traumatic life lessons for the betterment, whether it was a death of someone, whether it was just transformation, you had to deal with other people, the death of a job, the death of a situation, that maybe you couldn't speak about personally with someone. So I feel like that's when you got in your head maybe and you isolated yourself. So you can learn what it is to accept yourself fully, even the parts that you're not very proud of yourself. And Virgos are very critical of themselves, um, which is not a bad thing. Sometimes it's good critics, bad critics, but it's just about taking everything for what it is. I feel like you're learning how to you know how to really be proud of yourself, even the parts that you're not very proud of, because I feel like whatever this transformation or this kind of rebirth that happened to a lot of you this year, you're learning how to deal with the conflicts of it all. And I feel like in your best way, you're learning to, accept yourself fully and completely. So you can have this abundant, love, whether it's love for yourself, whether it's love and acceptance of others, someone that you want to share something when it comes to relationship wise. And I feel like, maybe it was in a relationship that took more from you